Hey, what's up, y'all? We need to talk because I kind of have a problem with modern cars. In as much as I love the technology and the gizmos infused into modern cars, and for good reasons, I just think modern cars are and have become too complicated. Hey guys, welcome to Dope Content. And if this is your first time here, smash on that red subscribe button and hit the like. And to all my returning Dope viewers, I appreciate you clicking in on this video. So let's zoom out a bit. Modern cars aren't just cars anymore. They are basically a computer on wheels. And I'm not just talking about one computer. I'm talking about 50 to 100 different ECUs that have to communicate with each other in sync. It's apparent that the future of cars aren't just a continuity or aren't just a continuation of the mentality that they are just a tool that takes us from point A to B, but they've rather become an extension of our daily lives. I mean, we connect our phones to our cars and we use either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And like our phones, modern cars require some sort of update and network support. And something we're familiar with about softwares, even from giant companies like Apple and Google, is that as time goes on, older devices don't get software support. And hence, making your iPhone 10 borderline obsolete. This is definitely going to be the case for modern cars, especially with automakers churning out newer and newer and newer models and older models running out of warranty and software support. So your 5 to 10-year car would become obsolete. And automakers are aware of this planned obsolescence. Now, this planned obsolescence is a huge topic on its own, but on an article by Faster Capital, it explains and encapsulates this perfectly. On one part of the article, it delves into the automobile industry using planned obsolescence as like a strategy of designing products with a very limited lifespan, which encourages us or you, the customer, to replace your older vehicles with newer one. This lifespan is debatable, especially on how expensive modern cars have become, not just to purchase, but you have insurance costs, maintenance and repair costs have become higher, notwithstanding how complicated and complex modern cars have become to fix. Now, this planned obsolescence, in my opinion, is even more prevalent in electric cars, in electric vehicles. And look, I love electric vehicles and the technology in cars. And it's sort of the main reason I started this channel in the first place. But when cars turn into smartphone on wheels, well, guess what it comes with? It comes with a myriad of bugs, infotainment issues like screens blanking out or some features not responding, and even crashes. And I literally mean crashes. Now, this is a case of a 2-month-old Volvo XC90 that crashed due to a brake failure, which was caused by a software update. Now, we'll be jumping into this article by Car Scoops and also reacting to the video of the crash because apparently there was an onboard video recorder that recorded the whole crash of the Volvo XC90. My Volvo lost brakes and crashed after a software update. An XC90 owner affected by the recall experienced the brake loss and recorded it on video. The problem involves losing brake power when using one pedal driving or B mode. So apparently, as we all know, one pedal driving or B mode, as they call it, is a feature in modern cars, is a feature in electric vehicles and partial hybrid electric vehicles where it uses the electric motors to kind of slow the car down. So this is kind of like the root cause of this issue. The car was coasting or the car lost its brake power when the B mode was on. Brake failure isn't something most drivers expect, especially in a brand new vehicle. But a recent incident involving a Volvo plug-in hybrid highlighted a software flaw serious enough to be at the center of a recall affecting nearly 12,000 vehicles. The problem, already identified by Volvo, surfaced in a dramatic fashion after a troubling incident on a mountain road in California. The driver reported a loss of braking and a subsequent crash while driving a steep mountain hill on his 2-month-old Volvo XC90 partial hybrid electric vehicle. What makes the situation more unsettling was that he had just received a software update from his local dealership. He just received a software update, and in that update, of course, you had this bug that caused him to crash. That's actually crazy if you think about it. A software update from the dealership. At the time, it specifically said that the issue only happened after coasting downhill for at least 1 minute and 40 seconds. So you have the feature on, you're coasting downhill, and after 1 minute and 40 seconds, the feature just disengages. So you kind of lose braking power. That's actually nerve-wracking. I'll be very, very petrified if I'm driving down a steep mountain side and my brakes just give up on me. That's going to be very, very scary. Now, if we see in this video, I must confess, kind of a beautiful view out there in the ocean, kind of a Norway-esque. If you've been to Norway, you understand, quite a beautiful view and a huge drop off there by the side, as you can see here. And cars coasting normally. I believe at this point the B mode has been engaged, and you can see where the car started picking up speed, didn't seem to be slowing down at all. This is a very scary situation. And big ups to the driver, because I'm not sure, not every driver would be able to keep calm in this situation and react and make the best judgment like this driver did. I myself, for one, would really be scared, and especially imagine having your whole family inside this car, because the XC90 is like Volvo's flagship model. It's a family car. It's like a 7-seater. So imagine having all your family in this situation with your car just hurling down the mountain pass without its brakes. Big ups to this driver for really being very decisive, honestly, and then crashed into the mountain side, which was able to finally bring the car to a complete stop. The pre-crash data corroborates the driver's story that the vehicle's brakes were not responding while coming down the hill. Volvo has, of course, responded to this. If we can see from what they said, safety is a top priority for Volvo, and we're treating this incident seriously. As we can see from the photos of the crash here, well, the structure of the Volvo held pretty well to this crash. Of course, Volvo built some of the strongest and safest cars out there, so safety is a top priority to them in terms of structural safety, which we can see here. Now, I'm not just dunking on Volvo because of this issue. Volvo makes some of the safest and strongest cars in the world. I mean, other brands are also plagued with their own kinds of software issues and glitches and bugs and all that. However, the overarching narrative I'm making here is when things go wrong, it should not be issues relating to the most important necessity of the car, which are the brakes. And this may be as a result, I'm not sure if this car uses the same technology, but this may be as a result of the brake-by-wire technology automakers are starting to adopt, where there are no physical connections between the mechanical brake of the car. There are no physical connections. It's all electronically controlled. Our modern day software driven vehicles have become complex and complicated. And when things go wrong or breaks, it's not as easy as fixing a flat tire. Now, how about security? Modern cars have some sort of connectivity to the internet in something called cellular vehicle to everything, or in what's called CV2X, where the vehicle connects to other vehicles, infrastructures such as traffic lights, and they are all linked up to a cloud server. And this is good because it makes the vehicle safer. However, my fear with this, honestly, when I think about it, is modern cars have become susceptible to hackers. I mean, there have been real world cases where hackers can remotely open locked doors, turn on the vehicle, and steal sensitive information, and so on. No joke, honestly. Now, take for example the Tesla Cybertruck with its steer-by-wire technology, where the steering has no physical connection with the steering rack, like in almost every other car, but it rather uses electronic signals on the steering wheel and sends those signals to actuators on the wheels of the car. But I must confess, it's a very innovative system and innovative technology by Tesla. However, imagine a case where hackers hack into that steer-by-wire system and remotely controls the car, or rather, a software bug that affects that system. And when you turn the steering, or when you try to control the car, it either doesn't respond or the steering turns in opposite direction. You turn left and the wheels go right, or you turn right and the wheels go left, or they don't even respond at all. And you're driving down the highway at 100 miles per hour. That could be a really nerve-wracking situation. But thankfully, Tesla have made a lot of redundancy and safety systems to prevent this from happening. But then it's all a complicated system. It's commonplace to say that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, don't fix it. Keep it simple. But we are in the era of the overly engineered cars, making them too complex. I mean, why must we have a push button or motorized door handles for simple things as opening a car door, which gets complicated to fix whilst being expensive? And I get that automakers want to innovate, but sometimes I feel like they are innovating in the wrong direction. I mean, take the infotainment screens, for example. We just have huge panels of screens that are just slapped into the dashboard of cars. And if you haven't watched my video on the infotainment screen, link is going to be in the description below. So innovation should be in the right direction. it shouldn't make things overly too complex as they already are, and hence making them less reliable. Anyways, that's it for me in this one. If you made it to the end of this video, it means a whole lot to me. What are your thoughts? Is all the software making cars smarter, or are they just making it more stressful to the end users? Let's have a conversation in the comment box below. Please don't forget to click the red subscribe button and turn on the notifications. This is it for me in this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.